Blessing by James Wright. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bound softly forth on the grass, and the eyes of those two Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely. They can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slenderer one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white, and her mane falls wild on her forehead. The light breeze moves me to caress her long ear that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly, I realize that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom.
The Waking by Theodore Riothke. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. I feel my fate in what I cannot fear. I learn by going where I have to go. We think by feeling. What is there to know? I hear my being dance from ear to ear. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. Of those so close beside me, which are you? God bless the ground, I shall walk softly there, and learn by going where I have to go. Light takes the tree. Who can tell us how? The lowly worm climbs up a winding stair. I awake to sleep and take my waking slow. Great nature has another thing to do. To you and me, so take the lively air. And lovely, learn by going where to go. Their shaking keeps me steady, I should know. What falls is always and is near. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. I learn by going where I have to go.
I will be reciting A Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, for the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act, that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Art is long, and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still, like muffled drums, are beating funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb, driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, however pleasant, let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God o'erhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and, departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
McCavity the Mystery Cat by T.S. Eliot. McCavity's a mystery cat. He's called the Hidden Paw, for he's the master criminal who can defy the law. For he's the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad despair. For when they reach the scene of crime, McCavity's not there. McCavity, there's no one like McCavity. He's broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fair stare. And when you reach the scene of crime, McCavity's not there. You may seek him in the basement. You may look up in the air. But I'll tell you once and once again, McCavity's not there. McCavity's a ginger cat. He's very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thoughts. His head is highly domed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side, movement like a snake. And when you think he's half asleep, he's always wide awake. McCavity, there's no one like McCavity. For he's a fiend in feline shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in the by-street, you may see him in the square. But when a crime's discovered, McCavity's not there. He's outwardly respectable. They say he cheats at cards. And his footprints are not found in any file of Scotland Yards. And when the larder's looted, or the jewel case been rifled, or the greenhouse glass is broken, and the or when the milk is missing, or another peak's been stifled, or the greenhouse glass is broken, and the trellis past repair, aye, there's a wonder of the things, McCavity's not there. And when the Foreign Office find a treaty's gone astray, or the Admiralty lose some plans and drawings by the way, there may be a scrap of paper in the hall or on the stairs, but it's useless to investigate. McCavity's not there. And when the loss has been disclosed, the Secret Service says, it must have been McCavity, but he's a mile away. You'll be sure to find him resting, or a licking of his thumb, or engaged in doing complicated long division sums. McCavity, there's no one like McCavity. There never was a cat of such deceitfulness and suavity. He always has an albia, or one or two to spare. At whatever time the deed took place, McCavity wasn't there. And they say that all the cats whose wicked deeds are widely known, I might mention Mungergio, I might mention Griddlebone, are nothing more than agents for the cat who all the time just control their operation, the Napoleon of crime.